society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations. Fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
This is season 3, episode 14. And this is a show where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
This show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on all the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life, because I truly believe that the more access we simply have to different contexts and outlooks and perspectives, the easier, smoother, and just fucking cooler life is. You dig? And I really believe that when we can see things from opposite contexts or perspectives than our own, it kind of gives you the real truth. It gives you the real truth about shit. You dig? So, I'm your host, California Cal. Welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, yes. Welcome to the show. Hello. Hello, everybody. Ow, fuck. Sorry, I just hurt my shoulder. I'm pretty sure my shoulder's broken, you guys. I should say fractured, because there's just certain spots and movements and angles that I just absolutely cannot fucking push on or anything, right? Also, sorry, one sec. Okay. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's a fracture of some kind, because I slammed my shoulders like full speed into like a wall, basically, you know, on a skate ramp, a concrete pool, and I fucking whapped full speed into the floor wall angle sort of thing. But yeah, it's been weeks and weeks now, and this shit's still fucked up, so yeah. And then that's the other thing too, is like as much as I look it up and I could just like logically think about it, there's not really anything you could do for like if you fracture the like cap of your shoulder, right? Like what are you even gonna do? Like there's not really, you know what I mean? Like you can't cast it, you can't whatever. It's like I could just eat good and take care of my body from the inside out and as much as I can from the outside in, and that will equal goodness for me. So yo, we got a crazy ass episode today, guys. So crazy I had to sip my coffee. Not only for dramatic effect, but for the enjoyment of it. So we're gonna get into some trippy things that actually it's not trippy. It's seemingly trippy and is so simple, it makes sense, and it's what the fuck we're actually supposed to do. So the first thing I want to talk about is the importance of holding ceremony. Now, if you think about this, every culture from every part of the world, okay, excuse me, maybe not every, like with the exclusion of white people. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean having white skin. I more so mean like the Howley version, like the breathless, like those who have no spirit seemingly, or no soul and no insight. Like those, it's like the people like the Karen type. That's kind of like our mainland version of Howleys is like Karens, but it goes deeper than that, and it's kind of like a spiritual and energetic respect and understanding that seemingly a lot of white folk lack. And just because you're white, it doesn't mean that you're lacking it. It's just kind of the general thing. It's like how the story of the Pilgrims came and fucking took over all the tribes and like fucked everybody up and just fucked up all the thinking and all the the medicine and the respect and the connection to earth and nature, and it's about business and this and that and like fixing this and fixing that. It's like, no, we don't want to fix anything. We just want to keep appreciating what we have and doing that and appreciating the land and respecting the land. So that's what I mean. You could be any color and any race and any ethnicity. It more just kind of means you're like disconnected, sort of like a sheeple sort of person. And I guess it ultimately means you lack emotional or spiritual depth, as well as insight. So that's kind of like what that means. And I don't even like to have to use like color or race or whatever, but I don't believe that like color is a race. I don't think black people are black people and white people are white people. Like each one of us has a race, an identity, an ethnicity, where we come from, a story, our people, like all of that. No matter who you are, you got something, right? So to just be black or white, I think is kind of weird. Like you are of something with a name that's not just a color, right? It's like being half Chinese or being Chinese. I'm not like, oh, I'm yellow. It's like, no, it takes away from my whole thing, right? Or it's like, no, you know. Anyways, the importance of holding ceremony is to do the act of reconnecting with nature, elders, and the youth gaining wisdom. It's very important for us to hold ceremony. A lot of people don't even know what it means to hold ceremony. And there's many different types of ceremonies you can have. And here's the thing is ceremonies are essential to live a good and peaceful and quality life. Now you can call these different things. In modern times, we often call them masterminds, or brainstorming meetings or creativity meetings or visualization gathering or creating, or, we have all these different like terms and stuff for it. And that's the thing is participating in ceremony is not practicing rituals. And that's kind of what it like kind of bugs me that a lot of people see it that way. It's like, no, ceremony is not rituals. You're not doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. It's not church. And I'm not saying church is bad, but there's a lot of teachings that are really wacky in church and kind of like take you away from spirituality. Like, and I think I might have said this on the last podcast, but Garrett White, he had said, I didn't discover God until I left the church. And he also said, that's not the case for everybody, but that was my case. And I really didn't meet God until I left the church. And he's like, and he's just explaining the whole thing and how that is true for him and occurs to him and all that. And I kind of feel that same way. It's not like I grew up super religious or anything, but I grew up with knowing a lot of religious people, going to church and all these different things and different kinds of church. And I really was fortunate to have like a pretty wide and broad perspective of what all that stuff means. So fortunately, I feel fortunate that I understand the difference between spirituality, practicing spirituality and growing as a spiritual person and being and healer and an interpreter and whatever the fuck else I'm up to. That's not church. Church is the practice of, it's like it's supposed to be the practice of spirituality, and they touch on it a little bit. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with church. If church really connects you to your spirituality, cool. But I'm more so speaking on behalf of the methodology. Like, you can go to church and still not, like going to church is a version of a ceremony. So that's why it's a good thing. Now, sometimes what you take from it or what, it's like, it depends who's teaching what and how they're teaching it. So it's like, that's why it's like, I don't ever say, oh, church is whack or this, that. It's like, well, some churches are whack and some churches are sick as fuck. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't just say like, oh, it's all bad. Like, well, no, if that's a place where people convene, they meet up and they discuss things about being a better person in life, how is this bad? You know what I mean? Like, that's not a terrible thing by any means. It's like, who cares what means you got to your peace? Well, maybe not who cares, but it's like, I more so mean then it's like, it doesn't matter your methodology of how you find your peace and your purpose and your ability to help people. It doesn't really matter what got you there, because it has to be of goodness in order to get there, right? So it's like, I think this is why practicing and creating and holding and hosting ceremony is so important. Now, ceremony combined with different plant medicines and different aspects of nature, that's essentially what that means. And the word plant medicine is kind of getting like played out, and like people are like kind of fucking the word up. And that's okay, because I'm talking about the real version, not like this weird foo-foo like internet version of it, like what people have done with the word manifesting and conscious community and being awake or being woke. Like all that shit is so far misconstrued by people who aren't those things that it's like, yeah, you can barely talk like that without people being like, what the fuck? But here's the thing is like, you can hear authenticity when people understand it or not. So this is like, I know for me, I very much understand the real power and the wisdom that exists within plant medicine. Because if you think about this, and plant medicine is all sorts of different things. You can look at garlic or onions as a plant medicine, or turmeric. You know what I mean? That is a version of a plant medicine. The same way that, psilocybin mushrooms or ayahuasca or, sometimes in some cases marijuana or DMT or, whatever other things are of nature and of, like, they contain information. So that's something I was tripping out about. I was talking to my dad the other day, like, dude, whenever we have thoughts, every time we think or we speak, or was I talking? Maybe I was talking to a flamingo about that. But no, I don't know. Anyway, whenever we have thoughts, they all go somewhere. Whenever we speak, it goes somewhere. Like, where does that idea, where does it land? Right? Like, so if I say, I'm going to the store, and I never go to the store, well, then where does that idea go? Does it just disappear forever? Or does it stay lingering, and does that become excess baggage and clutter in my brain and in my thinking because I didn't go? And if I'm pissed about not going, then that idea lives in my head. But once it's done living in my head, where does it go? So what I was thinking about, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this is like my opinion of this. And there's a lot of other people who will teach you this in success or religion, or I should say spirituality, more so, which is that these ideas and thoughts and information and collective information all go to some sort of ether. They go somewhere on the grid of life. They go somewhere in the matrix that builds life. And if these ideas go somewhere, this is why and how I think prayer kind of works too, is because there's godly information and love that can be tapped into because it exists in some ether that can be tapped into and pulled from. The same way it's like, if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, he talks about you can have spiritual mastermind, like you can have masterminds with people who aren't even alive anymore. And how you do that, and this is a success book, not even a fucking spirituality book, right? And what it talks about is like you can kind of sit and meditate or pray and, come up with a council of 5 different people. And I've practiced this and I should practice it more, but it's like I will sit there and meditate on and envision having a meeting with people that I look up to. Now, there's been times where I've sat and had energetic spiritual meetings with Bruce Lee, with, who else? Bruce Lee's like a big one for me. Like, I fucking love Bruce Lee, man. Like, if there, it's like if I could talk to somebody or tap into or hang out with somebody from back in the day who passed away, Bruce Lee is like a big one for me. And at the moment I'm forgetting who else, but that's like the biggest one for me, right? So I'm sitting there and in my meditation or prayer, I'm conversing and asking questions to Bruce Lee, or his spirit, his energy, his existence that he created in his lifetime. And if I can go and tap into that, I can not almost, but I can download the information of what he might say in that prayer state, in that meditative state, in that being out here, out there sort of state, right? Like, so that's the thing is like, I believe we can tap into the ether where ideas and things and knowledge lives and exists, because how do we keep knowing things, generation after generation and civilization after civilization. It's like, why do the people in England know to build houses and so do the people in fucking, I don't know, what's the opposite? Like Fiji. Like, why do they all know to build houses to their environment? Like, what is that knowledge? How do we all know how to do it? Why do people all around the world know how to build houses? Well, because it's kind of you could say it's part of our nature, but what makes that part of our nature? Right? Some sort of knowing, some sort of wisdom, some sort of godly universal knowledge or something that exists for everybody around the world to understand that we should be good people, that we should build shelter, that we should hunt for food, that we should mate, that we should procreate, that we should do all these things. Like, why? What is that? Well, it's just the nature of being a human, right? But it's like, why is the nature of being a human what it is? And why are we thinking beings and creating and idea-based and all of this? And we find meaning as humans, as we're animals just accept what is. And as humans, we have to assign meaning of things or in order for it to fit okay inside of the space of our brain, which is a trip, right?
Damn, dude.
So, So, to kind of bring all this back again, is to practice and partake in ceremony. So it's like, what is ceremony? This is interesting. Let's look it up. In my own definition, how I define and view ceremony, hold on. So my definition and view of what ceremony is the converging of your community, your people, your family, your tribe, and discussing and getting out in the clear new ways to help each other, new ways to connect and bond, or even deeper ways to connect, deeper ways to bond, deeper ways to understand our family lineage and instructions and purpose. Like, if I'm of the Tom family, why am I the way that I am? What does it mean to be one of us? What does it mean to be our people? Who are our people? And that's the thing is, like, I can go and create my own entire life based off of who I am right now moving forwards forever and ignore all my people, my culture, my community, my tribe. Or I can go and work with my community, my people, my tribe, and we can all grow together. And that's the thing is I had this quote on my freaking Facebook earlier that says, let me see if I could find this. It was like pretty fucking trippy because of, where in tarnation did this damn thing go? Sorry guys, it's kind of taking a minute. The fuck, where'd it go? Really weird. Okay, I'm almost here. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'll tell you, don't wreck it. 1 second. I'll tell you, don't wreck it. Okay, guys. Oh, I had a Facebook post 8 years ago today that said, yuck, a mosquito just hit me in the eyeball. Gross. Okay, anyways. Where is this shit? Okay. I had on my I guess it's a noteboard. My chalkboard, pin-up board or cork board, whatever you call it. An old note, and this is from 8 years ago also, 2015. And it says, to have a great life, everyone around you must have a great life.
Damn, dude.
To have a great life, everyone around you must have a great life. And that's what I was thinking about. Is like, okay, well, if I can host and hold ceremony for my family, my people, my tribe, the people who I care about, if I can help them become more free, more open, more expressive, if I can practice being more free, more open, more expressive, if I can practice holding space, knowing and practicing going inward and outward, knowing how to use plant medicines the way that they're supposed to be used, knowing how to sing the songs and do the performances that take you on the journey you need to go through, knowing how to say ancient prayers, knowing how to use and apply these words and energy and wisdom that I've learned from traveling to the jungles and traveling to different places that I've been to and working with different shaman teachers and just different teachers and different people all around, right? And that's the thing, it's a forever learning thing. It's like once you understand something, that's just the beginning. And you usually don't get it all the way once you first learn it. You have to kind of go through and like work through the whole thing and kind of work it backwards. And, you know, it's like to really deeply understand something, it's more than just hearing the information. And that's why I enjoy having a podcast so much, is because it's like, dude, I can just keep hitting different points that I think are so important for people to live a better and doper and cooler and smoother life, right? So that's all I want to do, is to make sure that the people around me have the best life possible. And a major way for me to do that is to participate and partake in ceremony and host ceremony and let others host ceremony when they want to and know how and whatever. And just share and express the love and the ancient wisdom and help others tap into that universal source of wisdom, to tap into that ether of there is knowledge from your family, your history, your land, the plants, the trees. It's all history. It's all knowledge. It's all documentation of some sort. You know what I mean? If you figured out who planted the big ass tree in front of your house, that's a big vine or branch or extension of information. Because then you know your history, you know your land. You're like, wait, what? Like Indians planted this tree, or natives, indigenous people, or, you know, like fucking pilgrims, white people planted this, or, you know, it's like, oh shit, it was like the original Mexicans planted this, or it's like, you know, it's like, who fucking knows, right? But if you know that, then that takes you further down. What if it was your great-great-great-grandpa planted the tree? Why did he do that? Why did he know to do that? How was the rest of your family smart enough to keep owning that land until you're here? You know what I mean? It's like, so there's all this knowledge that we can tap into that exists around us at all times. And things that get dated or become old are just proof, history, and evidence that there is knowledge in existence all around us at all times. Every single thing we look at contains information. You know what I mean? Like your sofa. I'm looking at my sofa right now. It contains information. How does my sofa contain information? Well, it contains information because there's dimensions, there's materials, there's fabric, there's fucking, you know, whatever's been fucking spilled and cleaned up, and there's all these things that make up the sofa. It has geometric dimension, shape, it's 3D, it has texture, it has fibers, it has different elements of nature which compose it and build it. Same thing, I look at my TV, how the fuck do you get this thing to project images and you know, cycle the information that it does? Like, how does the TV know to do this? Well, you crack it open and all of a sudden you see all the electrical boards and the circuits and you're like, oh shit. And you start realizing, wow, there's a lot of information in here. What is this telling me? So the thing is, like, you can take that and work backwards and figure out how a TV works, right? So that's the thing, is like with anything, with our mentality or spirituality, anything, it's like we can tap in or old spirituality or old information or anything, ancient, anything. We can tap into these sources just simply by observing. So it's like if we can observe what's in between, what's not able to be seen, what we feel, what feels like things, what causes things to have certain feelings. Why do certain colors give off certain feelings? Why do certain shapes give off certain feelings? Why do certain textures give off certain feelings? What is that all about? Well, it's all just information, right? It's like, that's all just some version of information. So what if you flip the script and you said, all right, instead of just kind of like letting information hit me and I'm just going to walk around amongst a bunch of information, like you're like, no, I'm going to actually like tap in, observe, and start receiving and feeding myself more information about life that has to do with reality. So it's like if I go around and I consider what my sofa is made of and how my sofa is real and has information about it just by its existence, you know, it's like, why does my sofa know to be built in the way where it's got fucking foot pegs on it and it's elevated rather than just sitting on the floor? Like, why does my sofa know to be like that? Why does my sofa know to have a longer part on it so your legs can fucking extend and rest put your legs up? Like, why is the sofa built that way? Well, somebody built it that way, right? with certain information about the human body in order to design it in this way so that it makes sense to the user, the person sitting on it, the person who sells it, to make sense for everybody, for the person who sells it, and to the person who buys it. The information has to be correct, or you don't want that sofa. You see what I'm saying? So this isn't just talking about a sofa, but the sofa has a life. It has an energy. It has a feeling. It's got a name. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that weird? Like, it's called sofa. It's called my sofa. It's not your sofa. It's my sofa. And my sofa feels like what it feels like when I sit on it because it's my sofa. And if you come sit on my sofa, you'll know that you're sitting on my sofa. Why? Because it has information that tells you it's not your sofa.
Damn, dude.
I hope this is hitting you guys deep. Like, I'm not just talking about a fucking sofa. If you know what I'm saying? Clearly. So I really see it's like, dude, the importance of hosting ceremony is healing and connecting with my family. And that's what I see and think the definition of ceremony is. It's to heal, connect, and this is perfect. I wrote this randomly the other day. I think the point of ceremony is to help accomplish this, which is to keep moving the mental blocks around, letting go of the old to make room for the new. Heal self, heal family, heal those in need. Create beautiful and loving family and experiences.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Because why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Because I'm tired as a knot. I had the right activator off the mic in 1985. Okay, sorry guys. If you know what that is, props to you. That's a good song. Anyway, yeah, that's why. So, what time is it? Okay, we're going to have to take a break before I get into this next thing. So that's the other thing is learning how to host ceremony, knowing and going to create family bonding on purpose. That is the dopest shit ever. Like, I got to go out to the desert with my dad this weekend, and it was the dopest thing because we haven't been out in like fucking damn near 20 years. So to be able to go out and have fun and create that bonding, and it was like, damn, man, like, I kind of went from being a kid to where we'd have fun all the time until like my dad getting a real job, to me being like rebellious and being a teenager, to me growing up and making decisions that my dad doesn't always agree with, to kind of just like us not agreeing about shit or having trouble communicating, to now going out and having a fucking fun ass time, just me and him. And it was only possible with the desire to go have and host and hold ceremony with my dad, right? So it's like we can go and sit around a fire and talk and breathe and just engage in life and spirituality and love and acceptance and understanding and creating growth for each other and ourselves and our family. Because if my dad grows, I grow. If I grow, my dad grows. So it's like, and if my dad grows and I grow, then my kids grow, and then their kids grow, and then every person around them is affected positively. So that's what I want to do, is just keep growing people who love themselves and love each other, and then just kind of spread it out from there and just have a big loving family and community.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude. Because
this is an option. So that's the thing, is if you don't at least try to hold ceremony with your family to some capacity, ceremony could be, hey, we're going to meet and have a talk. Hey, we're going to go and eat a meal. Hey, we're going to just go and converge and talk about fucking dope, beautiful shit and talk about the life that we want to live and how we're going to do it.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
We should all be holding and hosting or participating in some kind of ceremonies. Yeah, dig. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Welcome, bicycle, my tricycles. Yo, I forgot to say, I finished 75 hard, not yesterday, day before yesterday. And for some reason, it was just like easier this time, dude. Like, I don't know why. Like, it wasn't even like this thing, you know? Like, when I first did it, it was like this big thing. And now I'm just like, cool, you know, like, which I think is good, because I think that means habits might be sticking more, where it just kind of feels more like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do every day, rather than like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And, it's like, I think that's kind of the whole point and idea, is to like have those habits and tasks kind of become incorporated into your daily life, right? Like reading and exercising and drinking a lot of water. Like, why would you not want to do that for yourself? So yeah. But pancake syrup and butter. No, so it's interesting. I've been I'm gonna go a couple ways with this. Let's go here first. Okay, we're gonna talk about this, then the next one's super sick too. So I realized I didn't realize anything. I'm discovering that part of my purpose, major purpose in life, is to be an interpreter and ceremony facilitator. My Chinese name that was given to me by my grandpa was Gawain, and what that means is mediator, like connector, peacemaker. And that's interesting that that's what he named me when I was younger. I didn't understand it, but I was kind of like, huh. And I think I've explained before on different episodes, like at a certain age, you earn your Chinese name. I mean, like, especially in America. So it's almost like kind of like how and I realize what we call Native Americans, they call us Native Americans. They call themselves by their actual tribe. And I think that's dope. It's like the Lakota. They are the Lakota. They're not Native Americans. They say, no, you're a Native American. You were born here. We're indigenous. They're saying like indigenous is the closest thing. There's a difference between being a native of a place versus being indigenous from a place, where it's like, this is where your people are from. It's not that you moved here or your parents moved here, your grandparents moved here, and then now you're from here. There's a difference, right? So where was I going? Man. So what I realized is that for myself, to even just call myself half Chinese is not even completely accurate, because it's technically like the Chinese I speak and am is called Toisan, and it's almost like a lost language. You're becoming a lost language. And it's fascinating because the closest thing to it is Cantonese, and you can only understand like a good fraction of the stuff that's said. And in Mandarin, it doesn't even compute at all. There's maybe like a handful of words that kind of sound the same. But it's interesting because back in the 70s in America, Toisan was like one of the most popular languages, or Toisanese even, they can call it. Or in Chinese, you say Toisan Va, because Va is to talk, I believe, or speak. So it's like, oh, I speak Toisan. Anyway, it's fascinating because I'm realizing, like, dude, it's a trip when your culture, your ethnicity, your people start fading out and becoming like a lost thing, where it's like, dude, people are changing. Like a lot of my family members, they don't even want to keep speaking Toisan, which is like, it breaks my heart. Like, that's so sad. It's like, oh, well, I want to go be able to talk to more people. It's like, okay, cool. Like, learn that also then. Like, don't try and forget this to only have that, because then that shits on our history. And I was listening to like an interview with a Lakota Indian, and he's talking about like, dude, like, it sucks because a lot of the newer generations they want to go against what the purpose of our people are. And they're like, I don't know, not respecting the culture, not wanting to like carry it on. And rather they want to like switch it to this new version of living and all this. And it's like, bro, like you're selling out our people. And that's what it feels like. It's like, dude, if a Native American, I should say, if an indigenous person can speak their language and it's very, very rare and there's only like 100 people left that speak it, that makes you more valuable, not less valuable. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, then you hold the key, and that makes you a very powerful person, a very powerful player in the game, So kind of going back, I'm like, dude, this is cool. Like my language is almost and kind of like a lost language. It's not even popular in China. It's like a Southern Chinese thing. And some Chinese people don't even consider them to be Chinese people. So, and that's the thing is like, we consider Native Americans to all just be Native Americans, but they do not. They're like, no, we're Lakota, we're Dene, we're this, we're that. And it's a trip because like, we're all like, oh, you're all the same. But they're like, no, we're fucking not, homie. So, but this is what's fascinating. I say all that to come back to this, which is in the indigenous cultures all around the world, they all host and practice ceremony. Now, there's two ways to look at indigenous people. Well, I mean, I guess there's more than that, but there's two main ways that people typically look at indigenous people. You either look at them like these people are absolutely tapped in, genius, and participating in acts of God and on a daily basis. Or you're like, oh, look at these primitive idiots. They don't have cars. They don't even want cars because they don't know. It's like, no. But anyway, I mean, you can have that opinion. It's just not right. No, so what I realized is like, dude, okay, if I can keep participating and practicing in ceremonies and hosting ceremonies and leading ceremonies and practicing shamanism, which has been kind of bestowed upon me, and I kind of I don't know if declined, but I didn't understand or answer the calling right away. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, all right, dude, I'm ready to fucking answer the calling because why not, right? Like, it's sometimes you just have to. And now, right now in my life, I completely see the reason and purpose that I have to step into this. It's also no coincidence my best homie Sebastian is called to this and chosen for this as well. And it's like, fascinating. Like, it's a trip that, I don't know, when you participate in ceremony, your purpose becomes very clear because you're working with your most inner network of family and people and blood and lineage and all this. And when we can do that, we start freeing each other. And once we free each other, like imagine if your main clump of family, your what's that called? Your immediate family. Like imagine if you and all your immediate family could be on the same understanding spiritually, energetically, with the same outlook. That makes disagreement so much easier. Because you're like, okay, from your outlook that we all understand, like if we all have a common good thing, like for example, like me, my dad, my brother, and my mom, like I would say my brother and my dad think more alike, and then me and my mom think more alike. So within that, there can cause like cross, viewpoints or whatever. And that makes it easy, it makes it easy to go out and have fun, but it also makes it easy for things to just, somebody get rubbed the wrong way and have it fucking take a turn, right? So, I mean, granted, my family, we don't really argue. We're not like crazy arguers or anything. We all argue very rarely, but I mean, it happens sometimes, right? Plus, the thing is like, if we can all convene and hold ceremony and we can all start doing our healing and understanding, and if we all can understand, even if my dad or my brother has a different like line of thinking, that's not bad or wrong. It's good. We need all these different perspectives and ways of thinking. So if in the way that, and it's not even, it's like I also very much think a lot of ways they think too. But let's just say, like, for the sake of example, we're kind of contrasting it way farther. Let's say if my point of view on life is, I'm here, I want to be able to do hard things and do hard things on purpose and help a lot of people, make a lot of money, and have the most fun doing it. If that's what I'm up to, and then my dad or my brother, that's what they're up to too, in their own version and own, words like that resonate with them. If that's our point as a family, this is what we do as the Tom family. This is what we do. We do hard things on purpose. We help people. And however, whatever words you need for that to resonate with you in whatever version of that, cool. But we can agree that that's a great thing. Now, whatever we do to help enhance and get to that, then we can disagree all day long because the purpose and the point is very clear and strong, which is, we're here to do hard things on purpose, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, and make the most money doing it. Right? So if we can do that, we can accomplish that, all of a sudden, we're a doper, better family. People resonate with us better. We resonate with other people better. Like, all of a sudden, all these different options start popping up on how to become better people because we're convening to meet and talk about this and to practice and participate in this. So that's really what's so dope is like, dude, I'm realizing that I am called to be an interpreter and mediator and peacemaker and keeper. And I realized, and this kind of happened when I held ceremony with my cousins and my mom, which was like, and I think I said this before, but it got said that like, whoa, like you're here, then you disappear into the darkness, and then you come back and say something like potent or powerful or insightful, and then you disappear again, and then you show up again. And I was like, dude, I realize that's how I am in life. I'm like that for a lot of people in their lives. And I'm cool with that because what I'm looking at now is like, all right, I want to be able to go and help and host ceremonies for people because in ceremony, it's a couple hours of time spent, but then the knowledge and the lessons and the insights and wisdom that get taken forth from there go on for fucking 10, 20, 30 years plus, right? So that's what's so powerful about somebody who hosts ceremony or is a facilitator of ceremony is you can kind of just cruise around, host whatever it is, and then just keep it pushing, and just keep helping people and helping people and helping people and helping people and helping people. And that's kind of what I'm like looking at right now is like, because I'm learning and practicing how to host ceremonies, I can facilitate this space I can facilitate a safe space for people to go on different journeys and insights that they need to. And it's just a matter of producing the real results within my own inner circle and family. And then once they're all fired up and it's like once we're all transcending and growing continuously and committed to that, then we all just keep lifting each other up. Nobody's pulling each other down. It's all like, let's pull each other up. Let's pull each other up, 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 up. The opposite of crabs in a bucket. I guess barrel of monkeys it would be the opposite of crabs in a bucket. So I'm realizing that's a big part of my purpose is to host and hold ceremony for people to be able to discover their own inner peace and connect with their family and community on a much deeper level with much more appreciation. That's what I'm putting into creation and fruition at the moment. Yeah, dig.
Damn, dude.
So make sure you host and hold ceremony of some sort, do things with intention, gather with intention. And I realize that's what makes a lot of friendships stale is when you gather with no intention. Boom.
Damn, dude.
So you guys, what time is it? This is crazy. This is a trip. I love this. Damn, my coffee is really good right now. Side note, dark maple syrup is 1,000 times better than light maple syrup. Yeah. Oh, and timeout. Shout out to Poway Grocers Outlet, the fucking grocery store in Poway, California, 92064. You guys, that place is dope, and the people who work there are dope. And they got good ass fucking deals, dude. Like, I don't want to blow it up too hard because then I won't be able to buy my syrup and my sourdough for cheap or my beef anymore. But I'm fucking getting like organic grass-fed beef for like $5 a pound, right? Like, what the fuck, dude? It's crazy. It's pretty fucking legit, dude. This one anyway. I don't know about the other ones. It's not really a grocery store I go to very often, but like, you have to know how to shop there. I will say that. Because there's a lot of shit that you're like, whoa, what is this? Like, always read ingredients when you shop, guys. Don't buy things with fucking processed sugar or even cane sugar, this sugar, that shit. Like, avoid that shit as much as you can. And absolutely do your best to not buy shit with fucking seed oils and any of that weird shit. Avocado is not a seed oil, by the way, guys, because it's a fruit. Anyways. Same with olives. Okay. So you guys, this is a trip. Follow me. You're going to need your listening caps on for this one. So, when it comes to words and letters, words have meaning, words have power, words have energy, and words create life to a very great capacity on its own. It's not all of life, but it's one big facet of life that creates reality. What we talk and how we say it and what we're saying creates the reality around us. So, check this out. Every word has energy and purpose. Now, being that every word has energy and has purpose, that means that okay, let me reset it. How did energy, I messed the whole thing up. Let's start over. Every word has energy and purpose. So how did every word get its energy and purpose? Why does the spelling WATER equal water? Why does the spelling ME equal me? Why does YOU spell you? Why does anything you can think of mean what the fuck that it means? What came first, the word or the object? Which came first, a mother or the name or the title or the idea? Right? It's like, so if every word has an energy and purpose, how did it get its energy and purpose? Well, every word's energy and purpose is based off of the symbols it's made up of. Now, what are these symbols? They're also known as letters. So every letter inside of a word gives that word its creation, its power, its energy, and its reality. You can't spell water without a T or a W or an A or an E or an R. It has to be those letters. You can spell it in other languages, but in other languages, it still has to be spelled that way because these are the symbols that make up this word, which give it the energy that it contains and its meaning. So, each symbol, aka letter, represents a feel, a meaning, an energy. Every letter inside of a word, every letter in the alphabet, each symbol, I should say, aka letter, each symbol has a sound, and when combined with other symbols or letters, they create and describe the realities of life.
Damn, dude.
So, if these symbols equal words and words equal reality or how you feel, which is a description of your feeling of existence and reality, then what are all of us creating every time we use our words? Right? What are we missing out on by not saying certain things? What are we creating by saying certain things? Right? It's fascinating to think because every time we say something, this energy comes out, this energy of symbols, the symbols of energy come out and we disperse them and we put them all around. And we're often so fucking careless with us just saying whatever the fuck. But where does it go? It goes into this ether, right? Potentially. If not, maybe it just goes away. Who knows? But if you're even thinking about it, then that's kind of the whole point, right? Like I said, it's like I could be completely wrong. That's just my theory about it. And you could have your own theory about it, which can contradict mine, but that doesn't make either of us right or wrong. It's just your view of what's in existence. And that's the thing is, what's really trippy is that not all, but a lot of words mean different things to different people because people listen from different time periods. Sometimes I'm listening and what you said, like 14 words before what you just said was what I heard. And that was what I'm listening to and what I'm responding based off of. or I heard the last few words you said, or I took the whole overall general point of what you're saying and then I missed the actual meaning of it. So it's like fascinating because sometimes we don't understand each other's symbols, which we're putting out, which means our words, the energy behind it. So that's what's really interesting is you can take the word, oh, hold on. Okay, perfect. I realized I forgot to read this. Because I had looked up what ceremony meant as a definition. And it says, a formal religious or public occasion, typically one celebrating a particular event or anniversary. The ritual observance and procedures performed at grand and formal occasions. See, that's where I think it's misguided. Because the ritual observance of procedures performed, no. You're not just doing a ritual for the sake of doing a ritual. It's like saying using a screwdriver to screw in a screw is a ritual for installing a screw. No, it's not. That's just the means of screwing in a screw. So it's like when you have ceremony, it doesn't really mean you're not just doing rituals. It's the opposite of that. It's you're using the tools to enter certain information, to tap into certain knowledge and wisdom. You're using the tool, you're using the screwdriver to do that. It's not a ritual. It's how it happens. It's like when you pray, there's a way to pray. It's not doing a ritual. It's just the way that it works. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what bugs me about shit like this is that like, sometimes they give you just this weird, the context is slightly off. Or it's like, this is what I mean by like white peopling the thing, which is like the ritual observance. You're not observing rituals unless you don't get it. If you don't get it, then you're observing rituals. But if you get it, you're doing work. And there's a big difference versus doing rituals versus doing the actual work. You see what I'm saying? I can sit there and fucking dance around a screw and a screwdriver. It's not going to install it into the fucking wall for me. But I can take the screwdriver and screw it in, and then that means the screw's screwed into the wall. Right? So it's not just some ritual. It's actual doing the work. So when we actually do the work, shit actually happens. So this is what's fascinating is that in ceremony, you will often sing certain songs, say certain phrases, and that's not doing a ritual. That is using the tools. So when you see, like, let's say an ayahuasca ceremony, the shaman is singing songs and doing blessings, and he's working because your spirit and your energy is absolutely real. So how do you tap into the knowledge and the information from it? Because right now we're in this place, like I said, over the last couple of years I've been talking about, there's a big awakening going on. A lot of people are just going to die. They're not going to be able to make it in life. A lot of other people are going to become bitter, or a lot of people are going to become absolutely free human beings. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Not kind of, that's very much where we're at right now. Even people who aren't in tune or tapped into their spirituality are like, something's up. Something's shifting. I don't fucking know what, but you know, shit's just not the same. I don't know why. Right? So it's like, dude, it's a fucking trip, man. When you observe somebody and you say, oh, they're doing a ritual, that's the wrong view. If somebody is doing a ritual, I mean, that's fine, but that's not the point in how the practice of different spirituality works. It's like when they look at like the heiaus in Hawaii, which is like the white folk version is like, oh, this is where they do human sacrifices. This is where they do sacrifices. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? Oh, they do sacrifice rituals. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, a lot of people don't understand like what it means to bring an offering. That doesn't mean going and killing people. Sure, animals have been sacrificed in in things and whatever. And I'm not saying that's good or bad or right or wrong or whatever. I wasn't there, right? But my thing is, it's like, fuck, I was the medicine man in Hawaii for a while, and I used to come and have to bring an offering to the land in order to go up into the land every time. This is what my teachers taught me. Not allowed to just fucking walk up there. You got to ask permission of the land, ask permission of the energy, ask permission of Mother Nature. You got to ask the land and the bushes and the wind and the water if it's okay for you to go and collect right now. And that's the thing, is like, I would go up and bring an orange or a fucking, guava or a passion fruit or whatever I had, or a mango or an avocado or a pomelo or anything. And I would bring a gift of peace. It's like, here's my gift. It's like you show up to somebody's housewarming party, or you show up to somebody's house the first time. It's like, I mean, I guess depending. Well, it's like, it's always cool to like bring some sort of like housewarming gift or something. It's like, hey, like, oh, here you go. Here's an offering. Right? Like, thanks for letting me into your new home. Congratulations on it. Here's an offering. So it's not like, oh, I'm about to fucking kill this thing here. Like, nah, like, that's not what it is. I'm sure that shit exists in the world. But when you see like shit like these heiaus in Hawaii, it's like, you gotta like step outside of your thinking sometimes and like reconsider and not just be so fucking scared of stuff for no reason, right? And that's the thing, is like, when we can learn to love and play in our darkness and our negative and evil side or whatever, or peace, or, or if you know how to dive into that and you can walk around with love and light still, then you're free from all these scary ideas and thoughts. And you can observe that, wow, okay, nature is just nature, and it's wise to have an offering when you go somewhere new and to come with respect. So, to kind of loop this back around, the importance of what we say and how we say it matters big time. Because if I go and see a sacred place of love and offering, and you're over there calling it blood sacrifice rituals, it's like, well, whose experience is correct? Well, if neither of our experience is correct, then what? What's the actual truth about it? Right? Well, I don't know. I mean, we can go back and do our history and do our research and talk to different people. And that's what I did. And that was how I learned the information or that viewpoint on that. Because at first, that's what I was told. Oh, sacrifice place. But then I go and I ask real locals, people who've been on the island for fucking 50, 60, 70 years. And their family's been on the island for several hundreds of years before that. Like, who do you think knows better? Like the fucking news source or the internet, or the fucking guy who's actually, his family's lived there for fucking generations, right? So it's a trip. It's like, well, what you speak creates your reality. Do you want to go to a place that's very sacred and holy and be like, oh, this is so evil and creepy? What does that say about you if you go to a place that's filled with love and appreciation and you call it evil and creepy? Right? Like, who's got who's got a hold of and control over your mind if you go to somewhere that's beautiful and of love and you interpret it as this crazy, demonic, nasty, evil thing? Right? Like, that communicates to me that you don't understand your own dark side if you just have to call everything that, or you're living in your dark side if you see things of beauty and of mystery and assume the worst of it. Right? Like, there's certain things you can collect a certain amount of evidence and it'll tell you a reality about the situation. But I'm talking about when you just fucking are like walking around, or you're out exploring on vacation or some shit, and it's like, it's a big fucking difference. So if you consider also, just to kind of touch on this lastly, the power of the symbols equals who you are to other people in this world. Because my name's Calvin, California Cal, whatever you call me, that's me. Because those letters equal me. And your letters, whatever your name is, equals you. You see what I'm saying? So, I recognize our camera died, you guys. I mistimed my timer, but it's okay. pancake serpent, but you guys, fucking love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys, thank you for keeping this and making this a top 10% podcast out of over 3 million podcasts in existence all over the world. I'm very, very grateful for that. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Go get your ceremonies on. If you don't know what that means, come holla at your boy and come see me and let's go. Not the beach, not the hill. Last one's PS2. And it's gonna be me and you.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
California Cal.
Yo, you guys, I gotta tell you something. I really, whoa. Burping on the microphone wasn't part of it. Or my throat going. You guys, I really need you guys to tell the damn dude. No. Man, you guys, what am I saying? Okay, you guys. So much for a quick little fucking plug. Let's try this again. You guys. Guys and gals, friends and pals. Okay, for reals. I need you guys to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell your best friend's cousin's uncle's girlfriend's wife, to tell her lesbian, dog training, LGBTQIA LMNOP plus activist protester about the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast. Because you know that fucking... Okay, you guys, if you know a Karen, share this show with them. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.